I forgot that Beg, Borrow, or Steal comes out on Tuesday.
I'm so excited.
I'm,
A stat.
uh,
I will
yeah,
be not walking, running to Barnes& Noble to go purchase that book. I didn't even pre-order it, but
I didn't either. I just like,
it will be in my hands on Tuesday. That's what we're saying.
I thought it was
I'm
coming
having it.
out in the spring. And then I
Well,
saw
it
a,
kind of makes sense because it gives the springy vibes.
that whole series is very like spring, summer.
Yeah. I don't
The
know.
clouds are gonna kill me today.
The lighting
Yeah. Um, anyways, it's okay. So for those of you who don't know, it's the When in Rome series.
by Sarah
Um,
Adams.
and the first two are so good. She
So
also
good.
has a hockey, not a hockey romance, a sports romance.
Yeah, I've read both of them.
I
They're both
haven't read
football.
this. Yeah, I didn't read the
Yeah.
second one yet.
The second one's just as good as the first one. I was a little nervous because like I loved the first one. And I was like, but the second one, it lived up to the hype too. So
Good.
I would also recommend it. I've read all of them, but like separate from the series. But yes, 10 out of 10
Yeah, I'm
if you're
really
into it.
excited.
Oh, I can't wait. Now I'm
It's
like,
gonna be so good.
I know. We're gonna come back for like our next episode and be like, well, look
Well,
what we have.
maybe that can be like our first book episode. We can like
Oh
actually
my
talk about
God.
that book.
Yeah, actually, it's a good idea. Are
I'm currently
you currently reading something?
I don't
Oh,
like hardcovers, right?
oh, I'm reading a hardcover too, and I have like the little like sleeve
But
thing on it.
because I can do this with the sleeve and use it as a bookmark, I'm
That's
like, all
smart.
right. Because I'm the
Okay.
person who will use like a dollar bill as a bookmark.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Receipt, a dollar
I
bill,
respect it.
paperclip, whatever. Um,
Whatever's there.
yeah, no, I'm about halfway through the Paradise Problem, and the only reason I haven't finished it yet is because I've been busy the last few days.
How is it?
It's really good so far.
Ooh, I haven't read that
Um,
one yet.
yeah, well, so I've had it for a while. I got this May of 2024. It's a book of the month.
Oh, okay.
So,
You've almost had it for a year if you're
yeah. But
That's okay.
my mom got it for me for Christmas, and I was like, I don't think I own this book. And then I went upstairs and I was like, I
Oh,
own
never
this
mind.
book.
Haha. I love when you I it's like a love-hate relationship, but I find out that like I'm like, I think I have this or I've read this, and then I found out I
Yeah.
do, and I'm like, oh sorry.
Well,
But now you have two copies.
because she has like her other like tropical vacation. So I thought that it was like the second because okay, hold on. I don't want to get this incorrectly. Where is it? It's literally right here. Ma'am, where is this
It's
book?
is it the one that follows the honeymooners?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same like series thing.
Oh, it's over here. It's the
I
Unhoneymooners.
see it, the
And
unhoney.
then
Yeah, duh. I'm me being like,
there's a 1.5, right? So
yes, and I've read that one,
I thought
which was
Paradise
okay.
Problem was number two. No, Paradise Problem's a standalone.
What? News
Yeah.
to me. I also thought it was a number two.
So I was
Why would that?
waiting to read the 1.5 to read this one. No, it's a standalone.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I read the 1.5 as an audiobook. I think it's only, I don't know if it's available as anything not an audiobook. It was okay, but I really thought that one was also a follow-up to the first one, so
I
I
just
learned something new.
I love Christina Lauren. They are such good writers. I also think it's so interesting how they can like they write so well together.
I was
They're
gonna
like
say,
you wouldn't really know that it's two people.
yeah, like I want to know so much about like the process of what and how they write, because like as one person it's a lot, but doing it with somebody and doing it so cohesively that it reads
It's
like one person
so
writes it.
cohesive.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's crazy to me. Like I didn't know it was two people until I read the first book. The first book I read by them, and in the back, like when it tells you about the author, it was like it gave you the rundown. And I was like, two people wrote this book. Like, hold on a second.
I think I think I was like three or four books into Christina
What?
Lauren before I realized it was two people.
But like that's how good the writing comes across as one.
Yeah.
It comes across like one person wrote it, which is just insane.
The
Love that
clouds
though.
are really
I see it now.
um I've already finished a book this year.
Me too.
Yay.
Oh my God, look
Well,
at
you
us.
read like a happy book. I read a soul-crushing
Yeah, I
book.
don't really read. I tend to not. I try to avoid ones that make me cry
It didn't
because
make
then
me
I end up crying
cry.
my eyes out.
I wanted to cry. I could
What
not
book was
form
it?
tears. Normal people.
Oh, I see. Okay, this might be an unpopular opinion. I do not like the way Sally Rooney writes.
Interesting. I love so the reason I hadn't read
The
it,
no quotation marks
I
drives me
thought it was
insane.
I think for I was really worried about it. I've had normal people for years. Um, I was really worried about it. I read it. The way that it flows within the book makes sense.
Okay,
It works.
that's
There are
good.
still some times where I'm like, who's talking?
Yeah.
But
I don't think
it
that I
works.
tried to read one of them. I don't think it was that one. One of one of her books, and I got to like page 5 and I was like, I can't keep track. My brain cannot keep track of who's speaking here. I'm sure they're all amazing, and maybe one day I'll get around to it. But
Yeah. But
Normal
so
People, isn't that one a TV series now?
yes, it's
Yeah,
the one
okay.
with Paul Mescal and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Daisy Edgar Jones.
Okay, there's that.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Um, sorry, welcome back to Read Between the Blue Lines.
Happy 2025,
Yeah. Well,
officially.
we did have an episode.
Yeah, but that was recorded last year.
It was. Oh, this is our first
So,
episode of the year,
yeah,
actually.
that's what I
Yeah.
mean. So that's what I said. Happy
Listen,
2025.
I'm tired, man.
Time also feels so fake at this point in the year. Like,
hmm
I literally didn't even realize today was Sunday. So,
I know I felt
we're all
bad.
feeling that. Yeah.
I was like, Bree, can you answer my text messages, please?
Sorry. Yeah. I literally realized today, like, it's just, it's a time. So,
No,
yes. But
I thought Thursday was Tuesday, and then
see,
yesterday I woke up and I was like, oh, it's Monday morning. And I went
no,
through a good 4 hours of my day thinking it was Monday yesterday, which would have
that's what
been a
it feels
problem
like.
because if it was Monday, I needed to be at work. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
I don't know.
it's okay. We made it. It's a new year. But yeah, it's our
Yeah.
first episode of the year. So I was like, no
Excited.
way. It is very exciting. I also, again, we talked about it a little bit last time, but I can't believe it's like officially a new year. Just mind-boggling to me, but it's fine.
Last year felt really fast and also really slow.
I agree. And I feel like it
Like I
always
did a lot
happens
last
that
year,
way.
and a
Yeah.
lot happened last year.
I'm in like
Um,
the first thing I think I said when the ball dropped, we were like watching it obviously on TV, and the greatest thing and the worst thing about being a 2000s baby is that I'm the age of the year every year. And I
yeah.
looked at my parents and I was like, I turned 25 this year. That terrifying. I hate that. But then I just kept
Yeah.
moving on. I was like, it's okay. I'll think about that when my birthday comes in 3 months. It's fine.
I
But
will
it's ugh.
say I didn't process that like I was changing ages until the Canadians, I want to say, posted about Cole turning 24
Oh yeah.
and I went,
See, and you're like,
we're 24 this
exactly.
year.
No, I'm reminded every time I look at the count of the year and I'm like, I hate that. I hate it. Like I'm never gonna
Yeah.
forget my age, but I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, no time
It's
for a crisis at the moment.
oh, I'm having one
But
and it's taken up a long time.
I haven't had one yet. But like
I've
that was
been
like
having a quarter life crisis, I think, since I turned 18. It hasn't stopped yet.
valid, valid. That's honestly that should be like when you have a quarter life crisis because like so much is happening.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we made
Um,
it.
yeah, we're here, we're thriving.
We did.
My New Year's resolution is for the podcast to actually talk more about books. So
We will.
probably if we can both manage to read Beg, Borrow, or Steal, maybe we'll do that next
What did
week.
you set your reading goal for everyone listening?
Um, I I said it. I might change it.
Oh, you haven't decided yet?
I set it a wee bit high. For like, because here's the thing, I can't tell if having a full-time job is going to give me more
Impact.
time to read or less time to read.
I get that.
And also because it's not just a full-time job, it's still like full-time job and
It's a
doing
lot
other
of work.
things.
Hmm.
And so I'm like, also I have to commute now again. So like I have to take up that much time driving. And so I really don't
Audiobooks.
know. See,
Lifesaver.
yes.
Sometimes.
So I like some audiobooks and some audiobooks make me want to never read an audiobook again.
I feel that.
Um,
Relatable.
I do have like the Lauren Graham, um,
Oh,
and
her
Kelly
memoir?
Bishop. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that was good.
I want to listen to theirs. I know that there's like a few other like
Have
self-helpy
you
kind of books I could listen to.
have you listened to or read Jeanette McCurdy's?
I
Yeah,
listened
I
to it.
listened to hers and I love when whoever writes the book, especially if it's about them, like they read it themselves.
The way that she
So,
narrated I'm glad my mom died was I that entire
no
book is
words.
so amazing.
I know.
But no, so I'm also more of a podcast person, obviously.
Clearly, here
But
we
like
are.
I have a podcast that comes out daily that I listen to.
Ooh,
Um, I love the Gist podcast, love Jocks and Jills. So like, and then I
you
have
got
like
options.
my fun podcasts too that aren't like business and sports related.
Yeah.
Um, which I was listening to. I texted you about this. I was listening to Wild
Oh,
Till Nine the other day, and they were doing a 2025 bingo card, and they were like the Toronto Maple Leafs win the Stanley Cup, and
which that is a valid
at
bingo
this point,
square.
it could be, yeah,
Yeah, like in any year, but like the joke is always that they never
yeah.
get that far. But
But
valid
so
bingo square.
her husband goes, Lauren, no, that's not happening. And she was like, okay, fine. They make the playoffs. And her husband's like, well, it's been a few years, but I guess we can put that. And I'm like screaming at my car. And I was like, they were literally in the playoffs this
They
year.
have been for the
What are you
last like
talking about?
3 or 4 years
Yeah. I was
at
like,
this rate. They
I'm
just
like, they're
don't
not
make it
that
very far.
bad. They just can't get out of the first
Yeah,
round.
that's like the worst part about working in not even hockey, but like specifically the hockey stats side is that like the one time if there's anything slightly wrong and I pick up on it, I'm like, it's not that hard, guys.
Oh,
I know it's not that hard. Like I
it's
know this is common
so
knowledge. Please.
but that was like I feel like social media people have been picking up on it a lot recently because like
Yeah.
and I mean like regular consumers because like some of the hockey accounts will post like okay, the Jonathan talking about the Rangers Capitals game yesterday where Quick got like pushed over and
Oh
then
yeah,
they
yeah.
didn't call goalie interference and he was like
The fifth
screaming
time ever.
and NHL on ESPN posted the video of the goal being scored and then not the like interference if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, I'm so glad we could see the interference that you're referring to in this video.
Yeah. Where is it?
Or like they
Where is
posted
it?
Quick and Swayman giving each other like a little bump,
Oh
and
yeah.
then they didn't actually post that part of like they clipped it. And I feel like people on social media are starting to get a little bit more aware of like, that's not how you spell that. Why didn't you actually
Yeah.
show that? You're not editing this properly.
And they're
And
calling
I
them out
both
on
love
it.
it and hate it.
Yeah, I agree. Because
Um,
also, again, it should be like right the first time,
yeah,
but also like good on the people to be like, hey, wait a second. Because, like, valid.
yeah. Well, that's I like you know this. I made the bingo card when I was half asleep for the
Oh,
graphic that we had, and I sent it to you, and you were like, Mackenzie, you didn't put an I in the word sirens. And
yeah,
I was like,
it's
yeah,
okay.
okay.
Yeah, that's why we check that
But
stuff.
this is why we have spell check, and also
Yeah,
why we like have two people who look at things so you don't make sure you spell
exactly.
things correctly.
Very
But also,
true.
it's so easy to spell, like look up someone's name and spell it correctly.
I agree. It's literally all you have to do is half type it into Google and it will literally automatically load
Yeah.
who you're talking about.
Yep.
It's like one of my biggest pet peeves. As someone whose name is literally always spelt wrong, it drives me insane. But it's
It's
okay.
okay. My family doesn't know how to spell my name sometimes. Like they capitalize letters or they miss letters, and I'm like,
I
guys.
remember that was why I asked you when we first started like really talking. I was like, I need to know if the K is
Yeah.
capitalized, and then you were
No.
like, no. I was like, okay, good. Good thing I asked
Well,
because I don't want to do that.
I had my grandmother one year, I think, literally gave me a card that was MC capital K. And I was like, you missed a letter and you capitalized something that shouldn't be
And it's spelled
capitalized.
wrong. Hello.
I was like, you're literally my grandmother. Can we spell things correctly,
I
please?
feel that. Oh my gosh.
I was like, this really shouldn't be that hard. Also,
No.
I get like Cormac a lot, and I'm like,
Really?
that's not my last name.
That's not even close.
Yeah. Or like Cormac.
People. Isn't that like a spice company?
McCormick, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was like, still.
Dude,
Anyway,
I don't know.
just pay attention, please.
Yeah,
Because that's hard.
speaking of goalie interference
Oh,
and
yes.
referees making questionable choices in the NHL,
It's been a week.
um, it's been a week. Yeah. Between the World Juniors, the PWHL, the NHL, there was some college issues. Um,
Oh, I feel like I
there's
heard about that.
I don't know enough about it to actually talk about it. I didn't
No,
see
but
it,
I feel like
but
I was in the space.
there have been a lot of questionable referee choices this year.
To put it
Well,
lightly.
I feel like goalie interference got a lot of slack in the playoffs and they kind of were like, okay, we'll talk about it.
Well, this is the thing with there's a literal rule in the NHL rule book about goaltender interference, and then every time it comes up in a game, it never looks the same, it never is dealt with
No.
the same way, it's never
And
addressed the same way. So like we really, despite there being a rule, we do not know what goaltender interference is to this day.
I understand that it is
Like,
arguably the most subjective
of course,
rule.
but
But you'll have the same thing happen on
and two
opposite
different things
ends
happen.
in the same game. Like you'll have the exact same movement happen on both ends.
And
And
they'll go different ways.
and in one instance it's called goaltender interference and in the other one it's not.
Yeah.
And there was especially this isn't necessarily like goaltender interference, it's more of like the referees not blowing a play dead. But
Are you talking about the Avs game? Yeah.
yeah, that
I
was
still think it's so wild.
I so explain what happened.
Here's the rundown. Okay, it was, I don't even know what day that was. The Avs were playing
The
the
other
Sabres.
day.
Yeah, the other day. They were playing the Sabres. And at home in Colorado, and I forget how like the play actually ended up happening, but Zach Benson of the Sabres ended up kind of awkwardly falling. I
Well,
want
he
to
got
say
pushed.
Avs got, yeah, someone on the Avs pushed him, but he awkwardly fell into the net onto Scott Wedgwood's leg somehow.
Hmm.
It didn't look very good. Scott
No.
Wedgwood falls down in the net,
Like
is not
immediately
moving.
crumbles into a
Yes.
ball.
First off, on his back like a turtle, is not moving because he's hurt. The referee standing right behind that net, and the puck comes loose, and the Sabres end up scoring a goal, and they let the goal go. Like they say it's good. Colorado challenges basically out of spite because they couldn't really like
Well, so
challenge it for goaltender interference.
it
But
wasn't goaltender interference. That's
no,
not the issue. The play should have been blown dead.
yes. And the whole argument is that isn't even a goaltender interference issue, it's a player safety issue
Hmm.
because you're letting a play go right in front of you. You're letting a play go as somebody's clearly down and injured, and
Well,
they were like, "Sorry."
I always find it weird like when they whistle when someone's injured versus when they don't.
Yeah, that
But
too.
and like when it's a skater, I feel like there's like different things because the skater, if he's not directly in the play and the play moves, you can kind of
Well,
like
yeah,
let it go. But when it's a goaltender, like, okay, if a goaltender's equipment comes off, like, I know a lot of people get mad, but like if goalies like shake their head and their masks come
it's you
off,
whistle.
but it's the reason that they shake it to get it to come off is because if it snaps, that's extremely dangerous for the goalie.
Yeah.
And so if their helmet snaps, they have to get it off somehow,
And that's how
like
they alert.
quickly. And
Yeah, and
then
that's how
that's
they
how
alert
it,
the ref to
yeah,
whistle it dead because obviously you cannot play the rest of the game or even that sequence with broken equipment when it's again can impact your
yeah.
safety.
And
So
so
that was a whole thing the other night.
they're like referees are supposed to like, I don't want to say that like, because goaltenders aren't soft, and that's not what I'm
No.
implying at all. Obviously they get hit
It's a
with pucks.
unique position though.
And so like
Like,
you're supposed to protect your goalies like a little bit more because they are so vulnerable in the position that they're
yeah,
in. And so if a goalie goes down and does not move, you should blow the
whistle.
whistle immediately.
Yeah.
He's right there looking at him in the goal in a ball and
Yep.
goes, I'm gonna let this happen.
Yeah.
What?
And then they were like, it's a good goal. But like it should have been whistled. It was just like the most I remember like I was just sitting there watching it and I was like, no way that genuinely happened. And then that wasn't again, that was a whole thing, and now like he's hurt because of everything that happened. He's injured, whatever. But I want to say I don't remember. I think it was the Rangers game because you texted me about it, about the one that was it the Rangers game where they challenged it for goaltender interference and it wasn't, and then there was one for goaltender interference and they didn't call it in the first place. I think it was the Rangers game, and the stick was like underneath the goal. I want to say it was the Rangers game.
Oh, where he was laying on top of
Yeah,
the
and
goalie's
it was like
stick.
obvious goaltender
And
interference, and they're like, no, no. And the other one that wasn't, they said was, or however
yeah.
it went, it was backwards. So it's just,
So I just don't understand how you can lay on top of a goalie's stick and
and
then
let the
that's
goal.
not goaltender interference. Like, I want to look this up because I remember getting really upset about it during the 2022 playoffs with the Canes Rangers.
Oh, I feel like I know what you're gonna say.
The NHL rulebook is not pulling up right now and it's pissing me.
Do you want me?
It's
Hold on, I'll
okay.
see if I can get it. This
So the rule
year's?
that so the rule that I'm referring to is you cannot stand in the crease unless the puck is in the crease.
Yes,
And
that
so
is
if you are
correct.
in the it's like offsides, but for the paint. If you are in the crease and then you score a goal in the crease, it's
It's not a goal.
disallowed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 2022 Rangers versus Canes game, there was a whole thing. It was the Kane had his entire body in the crease, just standing
Mm-hmm.
in front of Shesterkin, I think was in goal.
Probably.
And he scored a goal. And I'm looking at this TV going, no way, no way. And then so that is what led me to then read the entire NHL handbook and like understand all of the rules
I love that.
because I was like, I just don't understand how the referees miss things like that.
Yeah, true. And it's happened multiple times too, where again, like I think we've seen that happen this season where somebody's in the paint and we're like, oh, obviously not a goal. And then they're like, no,
No, it happened. It did
that's a
happen earlier this
goal.
season, and I got
Yeah.
really mad about it. And then but then at that point, I was like, "Am I wrong?
No, but this again, I think we've talked about this too. Like, what is the point of having a rule if
If we're
you are
not going to
not
follow
going
it?"
to enforce it? Like, then what's the point? Why are we going to
Well,
call goaltender interference if nobody has any idea what that is? Like, it's not benefiting anyone.
especially when it's a player safety thing. So like the rule
Yes.
this year where you
Gates
can't be
over
sitting
the,
on the boards. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Which to this day, I have not seen them call
haven't seen it called
that
ever.
as a minor at all. Like, and I've seen players sit over the bench
I was at the
while plays
I think I
happening.
was texting you a play by play. I was at the Utah Rangers game, the Rangers home
Oh
opener.
yeah, in the
And I'm
beginning of the
literally
season.
texting you a play by play. I was like, Utah over bench, Utah over bench, Utah over bench, Utah over bench.
Yeah.
Referee has still not addressed this issue. Utah over bench, Utah
I
over
think
bench.
they're
Ooh,
like
Rangers went over the bench.
it's one of those things that they, especially when it's like a new rule, I don't want to say I give them the benefit of the doubt to be like, oh, it'll take you a couple like games or something
But
like
then
to get used to it. But at this far
that's what
in
the
the
preseason
season,
is for. But
yeah,
that's what the
this
preseason is for.
exactly. And this far in, like if you're not going to enforce a rule, then it's not a rule. Then why are you putting it in there if we're not going to actually care
But
about it?
especially because it's a player safety issue.
Yeah,
It's
that
not
one
like a
too.
willy-nilly rule.
No. Yes, if you could see us shaking our heads right now,
It just
not the goaltending, the referees.
the officiating in the NHL has
Yeah,
been questionable.
it is a time at all times.
But then there's also like this is kind of just a like a stream of consciousness episode, so I'm so sorry if this is not enjoyable. But like
We're just moving.
the Rangers game, the Rangers Capitals game yesterday,
Hmm.
um, there was an offsides call and you had to go back 20 seconds and it took them 5 minutes to call it offsides and disallow the goal. And my issue, I put this on our thread
Oh,
the other
this,
day
yes.
where I was like, how long after you've been in the zone should offsides not matter anymore if there's a goal scored?
Also, again,
Um,
you have linesmen who are like supposed to literally be sitting there. Their whole job is to identify when
yeah.
you go off sides. So once again, if you miss it 20 seconds after it happened, whose fault is that?
And
Not
so
mine.
the goal was being reviewed, and so the Capitals took a time out
Oh my God.
to determine if they even wanted to challenge for offsides. I don't think you should be allowed to do that. If it takes you longer than the time that you have to do a video review,
Mm,
it's obviously not impacting the game that much that it should then affect
take
it.
that. Yeah.
If it takes you and like there should be a time limit on then like the official review.
Which also
Um
sometimes takes forever.
unless it's a player safety issue. But also like my thing with that is maybe like if it's like a head contact and we can't really tell,
Mm,
maybe we just say it's head contact because like the issue then is he gets fined or not or suspended or not.
yeah.
Let player safety deal with that after the game. Throw him out
Mm,
and then figure it out
just keep going.
later.
Yeah.
Stop taking 10 minutes to figure it out. And then you have this offsides thing where it literally took them 5 minutes and the ESPN announcers were like, at what point does this not matter anymore?
Yeah.
And I was
Again,
like, it's hard because I understand like if it should have been called offsides, like that is like there should have been a stoppage in play. I
yes,
understand that.
but it should have happened when it first happened, not after a goal is scored and then they're like, wait a second. I think I saw offsides like 30 seconds ago after a goal
Yeah.
is scored and then like it becomes I don't want to say there's no point in it, but like it defeats the whole purpose of not calling it when you're supposed to call it.
Play hockey better. Get it to go out of your
Exactly.
zone.
Yeah.
Like also if
That
you're
too.
because at that point if you're in your defensive zone for over 30 seconds, that's on you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's true. Nobody else can be blamed for that one.
But so
Is
like
it?
a lot of questionable officiating in addition to looking at reviews when we talk about the World Juniors, we have that call on
Yes.
Canada. Um
Who just took
multiple calls on
they
Canada.
took so many penalties in this tournament. It's crazy.
And a lot of them were deserved. Um,
Yes, some of
the
them
one that
I
was not
know
deserved,
the one
well, okay, first off, for those of you who don't know, a kneeing penalty is when you hit someone with
with
your
your
knee.
knee. Like their knee. Like knee on knee. I don't know how
Yeah,
to
yeah.
describe it, but imagine running
Um,
into somebody and like taking their knee out with your knee,
yeah.
but on ice skates.
And so
That's that.
if you do that, it's called a kneeing penalty. If there
And you're
is
out.
somehow crotch to crotch contact, that's not called kneeing.
No.
I'm
Only when
literally
your knee hits your knee.
I'm watching the replay and I'm like, his knee doesn't even hit him. I'm like,
No.
I'm like, he like slides into him and they make a very inappropriate
They
like
could have called it for something else, but then they're like, "No, it's kneeing." I'm like,
like
"That isn't the same kneeing we saw." There was one in the
well, first off, his elbow made contact first
yeah.
and it was a fully legal hit. And
Yeah.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, you could have maybe called it a 2 minute,
It
maybe.
probably should have been a 2 minute, not
Also, like if that
the
happened in the
5 and
NHL, it shouldn't have gotten
no.
called. In juniors, I understand why we're calling it. But maybe a 2 minute for elbowing, maybe a 2 minute for like unnecessary roughness or
Yeah, like
unsportsmanlike
unsportsmanlike
conduct or
conduct. Yeah.
something, right? Not a kneeing
Kneeing.
penalty, not a
No.
5 minute major, and certainly not a game misconduct.
No. Yeah, it was a wild sequence because that was not it was definitely like a penalty of some kind, I guess, if you're going by their like the
Yeah.
IIHF standards. But when you look at like what a kneeing penalty is, that was not
No.
the same thing. It was not the same thing. Like we had
No.
one in the game before on that day. It was Finland and Slovakia, I think. And it was like a legitimate kneeing because like the guy like he was hurt. Like he had to be helped off the
Yeah.
ice. It was terrible, but when you watch the replay, it was like knee it was literally the definition of what you would call a kneeing penalty. So it would make sense.
Yeah.
But like when you look at that compared to what they called on Canada, I was like, that's not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
But also, so the officiating at the World Juniors has been certainly interesting, and I'm happy that they're actually
Very.
calling embellishment penalties for some of these kids
I
because
know.
one of the guy was it I think it might have been the Czechia game yesterday, perhaps.
Probably.
Um the one of the guys got clipped, and then a good 3 seconds later, he goes, "Oh," in slow motion and puts his head back for a high stick. And I was like, dude,
A little late. A
the
little
the
late.
delayed reaction. And like the guy who got kneed during that Canada game, there was like a zoom in on his face where you can see him like smiling and then go back to like quote unquote writhing in pain. And
Wait,
it's like,
this is funny
y'all.
because this happened in the NHL, the same thing the other day in that Devils Canes game
Yup.
where Timo
Yup.
Meyer got kicked out and then Marty Necas just came back like nothing happened after like he acted like he was
Was
severely
never gonna
injured.
walk again.
Yes,
And
he
then he
leaves the
comes back
ice.
and he's like, I'm here. But
Yeah,
also, like,
after Timo got like a 10-minute misconduct, and I was like,
but
what just happened? And it
but
like
Matthew
again, the same
Kachuk gets
sequence.
Matthew Kachuk does it all the time, where he's
All
like,
of yeah, he's like
it's
the repeat offender of it, literally every game.
Matthew
He's
Kachuk is the definition of call an ambulance, but
literally
not for me.
that's such a good way of putting it. But honestly,
Because
like,
that's what it is.
but it's smart because 95% of the time the Panthers will get a penalty out of it or a power
Yeah.
play out of it. And then he's just like, no, I'm fine. I'm not
But
actually hurt,
so
but you
here's
fell
my
for it.
so then here's two things we can do to fix that. Because one,
Oh,
it's
there's yes.
entertaining, but two, it's a problem,
It
obviously.
is. Yes.
We shouldn't be getting kicked out of games for someone not actually being injured.
No.
And so there's two options, I think. You either have that person cannot play the next shift. They have to come off of the
Sit.
ice and sit for at
Ooh,
least a minute or
smart.
something.
Yeah.
Um,
Like a mini penalty.
like put
It
them in
what?
timeout.
Yeah.
But so like because it happened last season, Adam Fox got like tripped or
Oh, I
something
remember this one.
and
Yeah.
they called the penalty and he basically like he wasn't pretending to be injured. He just was like shaking out his ankle trying to skate on it and make sure it was working. And the ref basically shoved him off the ice and was like, "No, go sit." And everyone was like, "But he's not injured. Like you called it for a trip. It was a valid trip.
Yeah.
And why are we shoving him off of the he's one of our best defenders. What are you doing?"
Yep.
And so I'm like, I feel like that should apply for everything. Like if you get quote unquote injured during a penalty, you should then have to sit
Sit. I like that.
for the first shift. Or if the NHL zooms in on your face later during a replay and you're smiling, you get a fine.
Please. That'd be sick. Can you imagine how many times they would have to do that? It'd be an
The NHL
absurd
would make a lot
amount.
more money.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
But like, I feel
But
like it needs to be
your point
fixed
is,
somehow
yeah, there's
because it's egregious.
it is. And I feel like we often like we see the embellishment part obviously when you're watching World Juniors on a different level, but I kind of think we forget about it in the NHL because we're so used to again, you see Matthew Tkachuk play and he does that almost every game. You see it
But also
happen
the
like
hits are a lot harder. And I think
yeah,
like also like no one's ever gonna look at like a foot okay, men's soccer is the equivalent that I can think
oh that
of
one's
where it's like
crazy.
they all embellish all of the time.
Yeah.
And but then like if you're looking at like American football, if someone goes down, you're not questioning it because
No, 'cause that's like a legit, you know they're hurt in
you
some
know they're
way.
hurt.
Yeah.
And I feel like hockey's very similar where it's like if they're going down, they're typically injured because
Yeah.
it's so fast. It's so they're skating on they have knives on
Knife
their feet.
shoes.
It's
Yes.
it's a
Also,
dangerous sport.
the impact of like, especially when it's like a high stick or something in your face, like they're like the initial shock, even if you're not like severely injured, but like the shock of that stuff happening has to be
Well, I don't know if you've
through
ever
the
gotten
roof.
hit in the nose. So like
No.
anyone
That's like
listening,
my fear. I have a fear of breaking my nose. I've been
but
hit in
not
I've
necessarily
in the
breaking it.
face. Oh, well, yeah,
So
then okay,
okay,
yes.
like
I
if
hate
you've
that
ever
feeling.
held a baby and they just kind of like headbutt you in the nose, you know how
Yeah.
you're like, oh, ow, and then you're fine. But like
But
for
you mean the shock?
but like especially getting hit in the face with something, so like if you get a high stick, like that reaction is
The
mostly
puck?
just because
Yeah.
it's like wah.
Hmm.
Um, but also I don't know if you've ever been skating
Yeah.
really fast and
No,
either
not
gotten
really
hit
fast.
into the boards or
No.
fallen. Ice is hard,
Yeah.
guys. It's not comfy.
Hmm.
Um, so like I would say 95% of the time I understand why the guys look like they're in pain.
Yeah.
I think also injuries can happen in really weird ways. Like the way that Wedgwood went down, you wouldn't necessarily think that he got
Yeah, exactly.
severely injured, and then you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But same thing with Ovechkin's injury where he broke his leg. It didn't look like he broke anything.
No, and that's like it doesn't it looked like he got injured, but you couldn't tell like the severity of it. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, he broke his fibula." And I was like, "What?" Like that did
Yeah.
not look like that. Like,
No,
okay, we're
because he got back
fine.
on the ice too.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But
I also
I
think it's
feel like there needs to be something about like if it can be proven that you embellished, like
you have
you
to
should
serve a
get
penalty
fined or
after.
something.
I
Yeah.
I think it would probably definitely help it and like lower how many times we see it happen.
Yeah.
Because like I know they make a lot of money, but like they probably don't want to spend the money on a fine.
No.
And everybody knows you get fined, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So on like in relation to this, right? Players have conferences, coaches have conferences. They all have to answer for their crimes at some point, right?
Yes.
I think this should go for every league, but specifically the NFL and the NHL are having the most issues, I want to say, with officiating in recent years.
Probably.
Um, that I've heard like widespread complaints about. Put the referees in a conference.
This every season, everybody's like, why do you do pressers with the head coaches and the players? And you have someone else who's like crazy, the influence they have on those games every night. Why can the press and you as a fan not ask them questions like the refs? And I want to know why the NHL won't do it. But it would be so helpful to just have like year three refs sit down after a game in your presser, and then you get to ask, hey, why was this,
Yep.
that, and what happened here, and explain this. Because like the players and the coaches can talk all they want, but they're not the ones making the decisions on those calls. So like
And it
it
just
would be
I
so helpful.
understand.
And the transparency. If you
I
want people
understand.
to like the game,
Yeah. I get it to a certain
transparency.
extent of like they'd get attacked. Um, but also then do your job better and you
That
won't.
too.
Um,
Yeah.
and
But
like
also
along
then how are you protecting them when they're the ones that are making the decisions that end up becoming so polarized. You know what I mean? Like why do they get to be I can do whatever I want and not hear from it or hear about it
and also
when
like
everyone else does?
I understand like not wanting to have to answer, but also like they do have to answer to the
Yeah.
teams because like the coaches will ask and the captains will
Mhm.
ask and be like, "Why did you call that? Why didn't you call?" And you'll see them barking at the
Yes.
refs. Like especially like Trocheck
It's my
got
favorite
really
thing
mad.
actually.
Quick got like all up in the ref's face yesterday.
Yeah.
And like some players will get really vocal about it, and I think that they should.
Mhm.
Um, and I loved um the USA head coach the other day.
Oh yeah.
Um, on camera with a mic on. You couldn't hear him,
They
but
don't
I
care.
know. So many curse words came out of that man's mouth towards the ref. And it was during the USA Canada
National
game.
Yep, right on TV.
So funny.
Mhm.
So funny. Um,
But like what else do they expect when
but like,
calls and things don't go the way they're supposed to? That's
yeah.
going to be the reaction you get,
But they have to
obviously.
answer to the coaches and kids, like, I'm calling these adult men kids, like the coaches and the players during the games, right?
Yeah.
But so the media is supposed to be unbiased. Like when we go
Mhm.
cover a game, we're not supposed to be rooting for one team or the other. And the
Yes.
same goes for the press conference. It's not like we're like, "Hey Rangers, we really like you. Can you tell us like what your favorite
Why?
color is?" And then we
Yeah.
go in and we talk to the Devils and we're like, "So, why do you play so bad?" And like
Yeah,
that's obviously
exactly.
it's actually the inverse this season, but
True.
like you're going into a press conference and you're being professional and there is like a certain level of decorum and you're not supposed to be biased. And so I feel like answering those questions to the media would be the best people to answer to because they're supposed to be
Yeah,
unbiased.
and they're the ones that are like covering the game to tell the regular fan who's reading or whatever, getting the information about what happened. So they are like, and you know that when we sit in for the PWHL, like we are the ones just being like, I want this information for this purpose.
Yeah.
And like that's it. I'm not sitting there trying to like dig up whatever. Like it's just a question of whatever I'm writing and whatever we're
Yeah.
trying to give them. Same thing for the NHL media. They're just like, hey, this is obviously a call that like people are going to point out after the game. Just explain why that went that way. And then that just gives the explanation
But also, I
to
feel like it
fans.
would help fans be less angry about future
Exactly. That's what I
calls
mean. Like
because you
you
can
would
get in
have
their
an
head.
explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you would know like again, you wouldn't know like how every call went, but you would at least understand why it happened that way, opposed to this happened and I hate that it happened that way and I don't know why.
Or it
Because
could
like
be
we
like,
never
hey, I
know
got,
why.
it could also be as simple as, hey, I got something in my eye for a second and didn't see it.
Yeah, but like we don't know that. We never know that.
No. And it's because also, like, with like the NFL and the Chiefs and the Patriots a few years
Yeah.
ago, and people like, they're cheating, they don't deserve to be there, blah, 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 blah. And like, whether any of that's founded or not, you can talk to them after the game and be like, hey, why did you flag that play?
Mhm.
For what reason? But then the same thing happened on the other side and it was fine.
Etc. Please
Like, so
explain.
yeah,
That's all
there's
we
like,
want to know.
there's a lot about the officiating that I think is a problem. I do think at a certain point, some of the refs definitely become biased towards certain teams. And I know that
Yeah.
whenever there are certain people reffing certain games, I'm like, oh God, this is going to be a
I was
mess.
also gonna say like you can tell depending on like what team you're playing or what arena you're in. There are certain refs who definitely lean. Like you'll have a game where like they call like 8 penalties on one team and like 1 on the other, and you're like, what the
Yeah.
heck? That should have been the same. Which also, I don't want to say ruins it, but it kind of does because then it's not a very fair
No.
game. Like you're not watching what it should be.
But then
So
also you have games like Boston, Toronto, and Devils, Rangers, where those games are just inherently a lot more
yeah,
chippy. And
you have the
so
rivalry, yes.
at what point are you like, okay, let's not call every single little thing?
True.
But then, like, because you'll have games where I feel like if it's not a rivalry game, they won't call certain things. But then when it is a rivalry game, they're like,
It's
oh,
like
I'm gonna call
everything.
everything. And
Yeah, you're right.
but Boston did the same thing 2 nights ago against Carolina, and you didn't call that.
It's fine. Yeah, I that's like again, I think it should be as it is in any sport, it should be the same thing across the board, no matter what game, where you're watching it, who's playing. And I don't know if it's like that in every sport, but the NHL, for some reason, and maybe it's because I'm always watching it, it doesn't seem as rigid as it should be. Like it's very open and it doesn't always have the same. You never
Well,
know what's going to happen when a penalty or like however it's being
yeah,
officiated, which is not how it should not be like that. You should know exactly what happens
yeah.
or should happen based on the rules, and I don't think that always is followed,
Well,
unfortunately.
I'm like, is there a solution where, because I know like it's hard because tennis is so simple in comparison.
Yeah,
There's a lot less things that you
it's
can
a
do
lot
to
less
your
things.
opponent.
I was gonna say.
But there's an instant video review for everything to see if it was out, if it
Mhm.
was in, blah blah blah. Like, are there like trackers we can put in the skate to see if they were actually over the line before the puck was, and can we like make that faster? Can there be like a overhead
The
officiant who's like
technology,
watching,
yeah.
who's saying in the ear, call a penalty?
Mhm.
Like, is there something like that that can be done? Like, can we use like not AI? I don't want to involve
No,
AI,
I agree.
but can we like use technology and cameras and like tracking technology more to see like is there a way to make officiating more efficient and more effective as opposed to because
The guessing game.
referees are human and I think that like I know that we just basically bashed them for 20 minutes and it's but it's not necessarily them, it's also
We're
just
just
like
giving
how it's
them
set up.
yeah, we're just giving them what is it? Like the
Constructive
critiques. Yeah,
criticism.
construct that's it.
But
We're just seeing it all the time.
I understand that they're human, but especially when you have a week like this where
Where it's everywhere and
it's
like it
everywhere,
gets
it's
worse
such
and
a
worse.
problem.
Yeah.
And like there should be a universal rule. If your goalie is immobile, call it.
Mhm.
Blow it dead. Like
Also for things like that, like I know we kind of when we skipped over it, but like the Avs ended up coming back and winning that game, but like if that goal was allowed, like it was allowed, and then they ended up losing, like you lost on a goal that should
Especially if
not
it
have
was a
been
one
allowed.
goal
Yes. So
game. Yeah.
thank I don't want to say like thank God they won to like prove it didn't matter, but like if you're that team and that happens to you and then you lose because that's the goal that's allowed, like I would be
And like
pretty livid.
right now it's one thing, but when you get down the line, when you get to like
Yeah.
playoff cutoffs, when you get to the playoffs, imagine something like that happening in a Stanley Cup final.
Cause there'd be no there they see like that's the thing like it that cannot happen
No.
on that level because if you're deciding a game on a what should be a disallowed goal because you didn't whistle it, that's no. No. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just no.
But then
Yeah.
there's the question of like, okay, well if the refs miss a whistle, should it just like it just goes on as it goes on, like we were saying with offsides,
I
where
again,
like
I think but when it's a player safety issue,
no, I agree, but that's
like
I'm saying that we're kind of like we're saying the
I
opposite
know
thing for
like
each
the
thing, but it's
I
I
don't
just
know.
when there's a goalie crumpled into a ball, I don't
They're
understand how
not gonna
you.
make a save.
But also, okay, this made me mad the other day too. The net got thrown off. I don't remember what game it
Oh,
was.
I don't remember which one it was either, but I know exactly what you're talking about. And
The
they
net got completely taken off in the opposite end, and
what
then
game is
that
this?
team proceeded to go score a goal
I watched
on
this
the other
game.
side. And I was
Yeah,
like, so we're not blowing it dead because it came off of it's you're
but
supposed
you're
to blow the
supposed to.
play dead
Yeah, when the net comes off.
like
There was one the other day, I
immediately.
think, that I think the same thing happened where the net came off, but the goal was scored. They had to decide if the goal was scored before the net came off or if it was scored after the net came off. And I forget what game it was, but I was like, if the net came off, you just whistle the play dead. Doesn't matter if the goal was scored before or after. It's dead.
Well, not necessarily
I know, but that's what I
because
mean. Like we're
think
sitting
back
here, it's like,
to but think back to the Stadium Series game last year, Rangers Islanders overtime.
but that's what I'm saying.
That
Like
net came off.
you think when the net comes off, they're supposed to say, okay, we're done. And they
But
don't
like,
do that.
yeah, I feel like it like I
They're
understand that
like,
there's
ah.
intricacies and stuff, and like obviously if the net comes off but everyone else is going the other way, it's like,
Yeah.
well, does it matter? And it's like, yes, because someone can pick it and put it right back in. If the net's off, it doesn't
Yeah.
count. I'd be
Exactly.
furious if
Yeah.
they're like, oh,
As you
well,
should be.
we didn't blow it dead because of XYZ, but the net was off. So your play doesn't count. I'd be like, "Oh, but the net was off, so you should have called it
No,
earlier.
literally. I
Not
agree.
now. Like either call it or don't call it."
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
That's
there's a
the
lot
lesson.
of
Call it or don't
there's
call it.
yeah. I feel like there
That's
has to
the
be a better way to like account for human error.
anyway, it must be nice to have to be a ref in the NHL because they get to just like do their job and skate through and don't have to answer any questions for it and anger
And
everybody
like
else in the process.
I would like to know where these refs like this is gonna sound threatening, but like where do they live? Because like they never get seen like out in public.
Would you? I don't think you would recognize a ref if you saw
I
them in
would
public.
absolutely recognize Wes McCauley if he was in front
Okay,
of
yes,
me.
him, he's the only like exception. The rest of
No,
them,
but
I
that's
don't
what I'm
think I've
saying is
ever
they get to be like these like
regular
hidden
people.
figures, regular
Yeah,
people, and they don't get like accosted in public. Um,
true.
and not that I think that that's the solution either, but like they get to like make bad decisions on the ice and then go home.
That's what I mean, and
Whereas
just like
if you
chill.
run into Jack Hughes after he makes a bad play in a Starbucks, you could be like, "Hey, what'd you do with that play last
Yeah.
night?" And he'd be like,
Also, I think
he could
there's
ignore
a
you,
whole
but there's like a different like they should be held responsible for missed
yeah,
calls.
and I
Like,
think
why
also
don't we
there's
fine refs? Fine refs for missed calls. Like, if a
true
goal gets called off for being offsides, fine that linesman or something.
because they're not doing
Something
their
to
job.
make it do your job properly.
Please, we can just brainstorm this. Just we will just rewrite how you should officiate in the NHL.
I just,
Reteach you the rule book, all of it.
yeah,
All of
yeah.
it. Yeah. It is a time.
Um,
Especially this week. For some reason, all of it happened like all at once.
yeah.
And usually you get like one every once in a while. And this week it was like every game, every day, there was something. And we were like, hello? What a time.
I think also
Quite literally.
it just because we were okay, transparently earlier, we were like, what did we talk about today? And then I was like, I will also the trapezoid rule got called for the first time
I
in
know, I
like
saw it.
ages.
Again, we talk about rules that exist and then they don't ever
But also he
follow
was
through
in
on
the
them.
trapezoid.
Yeah, yeah.
The puck was still on the blue line, it was still on the line, and like it came out like this much, but it was still touching the line, and then they
See,
called
but then
it.
like I want to know why they called that then. You know
But
what I
then they
mean?
don't
Because
call
like
it if the goalie goes like Shesterkin comes out of his net a lot and
all the
like will go
time,
into the circle and pass it up, and that doesn't get called. But when
which
it's
it
for a
should
possible
be, I
goal
think.
scoring opportunity, it gets called.
I don't know. Again, question marks, question marks, question marks. Because we have no answers. We don't know what's going on.
Clarification for those of you who don't know, the trapezoid rule is where the goaltender cannot stick handle the puck
Yes,
outside of that little trapezoid behind the goal.
the net.
Um, it's illegal. Um,
It
it
is.
was, I want to say
I think it was.
it was Brodeur, huh?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one that happened today. I was like, that one you
No,
sent
no,
me.
no, like why it exists.
Oh, I don't even remember. I want to say yes.
Trapezoid rule, Marty.
I want to say. I think it's because of him.
If I could type, that would be so great. Yeah. So the trapezoid rule, also known as the Marty Brodeur.
Imagine that. You're like a Hall of Fame goalie, but I have a rule named after me.
Well, that's
Forget the rest of it. I have a
there's a
rule.
there's a new rule this season where it's like a penalty if the goalie intentionally dislodges it,
Yeah, they're net.
the net, and that's known as the Hank rule.
Because he did it all the time. Who did it last year a bunch of times too? I think it was last season or the season before. Somebody always did it, and they would like push off the net, and I was like, "You're literally purposely doing it. Like, there's no way you don't
You know,
dislodge it by doing that."
it's it's a rule now.
It is.
Thanks, Hank. Appreciate it.
Again, Hall of Fame and a rule.
Yeah. I that should be like a different like a word that you get.
Oh,
It's
like
like you broke the rules so many times that we now have a new
you
rule
have to
named
a
after
rule
you.
for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
get a little like medal for it.
It's
Here's your
like you found a
certificate.
loophole actually, and we
Yeah,
don't like it.
thanks. And we put an end to that loophole. Goodbye.
Yeah. Um, so what book are you currently reading? Did you say it?
I don't know if I did. I'm currently reading Divine Rivals, finally. I've had it
Okay.
since like last Christmas, and I figured I just got the sequel or the second one, so I figured now's time. I have to read it. So I'm currently
Oh,
reading that one. It's a hardcover and it has a sleeve on it, so love-hate relationship with them, but I'm liking it so far.
yeah.
I've
Literally the
heard
only
mixed opinions.
reason I keep a dust sleeve on is to use it as a bookmark.
That is so smart. I just have bookmarks, so I just put them in there,
Also,
but
the I love book of the month, but I also have a love-hate relationship with it because why are the books so large?
that's like half the reason I won't get it because I don't like books that big. Like I can't carry that around and look like a normal person. You know what I
No,
mean?
because like
And it
I
can't go in a bag. It's too big.
no, like the tote bag, like the bag that I have that I carry with me everywhere is like it's like just too small. But I do have
Yeah.
my next read I think is going to be The Housekeeper and the Professor
Ooh.
by Yoko Ogawa. It's
Okay.
about like this world-renowned professor who basically loses his memory every like 8 minutes.
That's
Um
terrible. I would hate that.
and so it's a housekeeper who is like hired to watch him. Um I'm not sure if it's going to get like I don't think it's going to be like
What is
sexual
it? I say, what is it classified as, like genre-wise?
fiction.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't foresee it,
But like there's like math in
but
it.
what?
Yeah. Well, can I tell you
He's
one
a
of my
professor?
yeah. Well, one
Okay.
of my favorite books when I was younger was An Abundance of Catherines by John Green because
I love that book.
I
I
loved
still
the
have it
math in it. Yeah. No, I do
up
too.
there.
It's where is she?
I think I have all of
It's
them still.
somewhere.
I have like at least six, at least five of them, I think.
Where are my John Green books? Oh, it's right here.
That
It's
was
over
a
there.
time,
Yeah.
but I
I
also have
think
that
he's
one.
coming out with a new book about tuberculosis,
Really?
which is
The
on
last one
track for
I
him.
read Turtles All the Way Down, which
Yeah.
I read that one, but I didn't see the movie. I think it's a movie now. Um, and that one was really good. But that was the last one I think he put out when I read, and I was like, okay. I was in high
Huh.
school still. It was a while ago,
Yeah.
but
No, but I'm like this book is smaller, so I can bring this with me on the train
yeah. See, there you
because
go. The nice
I
like,
am going to a Rangers game this week, y'all. Will report.
woo! I have one next week, which it's fine.
We'll see.
We'll report.
Well, I
I'll
actually,
report back on it.
yeah, well, we're playing the Stars, the game that I'm going to, so I'm a little worried.
See that one? Yeah. I would
Um,
say they could at least try, but I don't.
you never know.
No, you
You
never know.
never know.
But like if they lose today, actually, did that even start?
It should be starting in about a minute, actually. All right, well, that was our very rambly episode. Let us know what you think in the comments, and we will see you guys next week with hopefully a bit more of a structured episode.
Yeah.
All
We'll still
right.
have a lot to talk about, but
Yeah. Well, this
the
episode
usual.
isn't going to be over an hour long,
No, that's what I
so
mean.
that's a feat in and of
We hit a
itself.
goal, exactly. We reached a goal already. That's
Yeah.
something. But
All right,
thanks
we'll
for
see you all next
listening.
week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.